Okay, welcome everybody, and happy Guru Purnima. So the idea today is, especially because this weekend was also Independence Day, is moving into the space of what it feels like to liberate yourself, right? So not just to be seeking liberation, but to know that you have the power to release any restrictions, to release any bindings, to release any illusions that might feel like it is holding you hostage, that you have the ability to change that. So that's what we're overarching idea as we come into our meditative practice. So start to find your seat, because that's always where we begin. And finding your seat is, of course, physically choosing a position that makes the most sense for your body today, not what made sense yesterday. So have as many props as you need, have whatever furniture you need, have whatever is necessary for you to be able to sit and feel supported in your position. And then just do a little bit of movement, maybe through your shoulders, through your neck, so that you are, again, giving your body the routine of finding comfort, so that you're not sitting to meditate with that kind of rigid idea that I have to be comfortable however my seat is. Instead, make my seat comfortable. Yeah. And as you start to let yourself come into stillness, let the eyes close, or keep them open if you'd like, but the suggestion is to let them close so that you start to tune into the inner world. And the tuning in is to begin to just notice the thoughts, notice the quality of your mind. We're always beginning from where we are. However the mind is right now, as you are looking for where there is the quiet that exists within what is happening right now. And as you watch the thoughts start to organize themselves, because that's what they'll do. You're not directing them, they will organize themselves. They start to settle around you, settle within you. I want you to start to seek out your heartbeat. Listen for it. Feel for it. Even if you think you have to manufacture it, listen for a heartbeat. And with every beat of your heart, repeat internally the sound doom. Doom. D-U-M. Doom. It's literally like there's the beat of a drum that is following the beat of your heart. The sound of that drum is doom. Doom is the seed sound for Durga, one of the seed sounds for Durga, and also one of the seed sounds for Dhumavati, two forms of the goddess. One that is the awakening of the courage inside of us. Go beyond any sense of enemy, to go beyond any sense of challenge. There is nothing that we cannot accomplish. The other is the energy that says that there is nowhere to go but here. That anything that feels like it is too much a possession, let go of it. Nothing belongs to you except your own self. In the sound of doom, there is the courage to embody your life fully, and the courage to let go of everything that you think that you are. Listen for your heartbeat. Repeat the sound. doom. And release the internal sound. Just come back to the feeling of your breath. Noticing where the breath stops in your body. How deep does it go? Where does it not go? And can you relax any restriction in you to the flow of the breath so that as the breath flows in, it fills you completely. You are an open vessel. No such thing as lungs, no such thing as a belly, no such thing as a pelvis. You're an open vessel and the breath flows everywhere. If you don't stop it, the breath flows everywhere. Can you feel yourself relaxing, letting go into the breath? And you can connect to the tangibleness of your body, the edges of you. And you think to yourself that this body, because I can observe it, I can feel it. And not this body, this is not me. Connect to the feel of the breath. Subtler energy. Your mind is watching the breath. It can categorize the way that it feels, the way that it looks, the way that it tastes, smells. And because you can observe so much about the breath, this too is not you. Let it go. Bring the awareness to the mind. You are able to see your thoughts moving, feel your thoughts moving. They're very entertaining. Impossible to look away. Because you can observe them, this too is not you. Let the mind shift away. Let your awareness shift away. That deeper layer of the mind that is there when you are in deep sleep. Maybe you have no way of referencing what that looks like, feels like, but put your attention there, the mind that is there when you are in deep sleep. And even this, because you can observe it, there are qualities, you can see it, feel it. This too is not you. Let yourself shift beyond that. What is there beyond that? Continue to observe where there is a spaciousness that is beyond the mind. The mind that was there before you were embodied. Don't question anything that you feel. The point is to just feel. Just become aware. And whatever you can observe here, that too is not you. Let your awareness shift deeper and wider. What is beyond that? Continue to allow impressions to arise as they do. Observe them. And remind yourself that this too is not me. What is beyond that? Letting go into empty space. Whatever you observe, this too is not you. What is beyond? You find yourself stuck in an impression, don't worry. Just remind yourself this too is not me. What is beyond? And find yourself again connecting to, reaching for the sound, the impression of your heartbeat. Sound of doom. You give up everything. You gain the power to be everything. You gain the awareness to be everything. Begin to connect again to the edges of your breath. Connect again to the edges of your skin. Connect again to the heaviness of your seat. And let your eyes float open. That was fun, right? Yeah. The Vedantic practice where you are looking at anything that your mind is able to observe is not truly what you are. So it's working from the outside to the inside, trying to discover what is beyond your normal perception. So you start with, I can feel my body, so that's not me. I can look at my breath, and therefore that's not me. I can see my thoughts, that's the surface layer of my mind. Well, if I can look at it, that's not me. So I can go to the deeper layer of my mind, but I can feel and see that too. And therefore, that's not me, right? So we continue to do that, letting our perception go deeper and deeper and deeper so that we start to become aware of more than what we previously were.
Hello, kitten pants.
Whoopsies. Sorry about that. Me hitting buttons I shouldn't be. Sorry. So it's a very interesting practice, and it's one that has no end, right? The point of it is that you start to free yourself of any connection to physicality. You free yourself from any connection to tangibleness so that you can really get to the root of what you are in an energetic way. So if you like that, right, the translation for the name of it is not this, not that, right? So you just keep saying to yourself, I'm not this, I'm not that. So what's left behind if you're not any of those tangible defined things, right? You become the eternal, the infinite. So it's an interesting practice. And the sound of doom, if you remember the two goddesses that is the seed sound for, are Durga and Dhumavati. You can look either of them up to see if they really resonate with you as an energy for transforming and freeing yourself from whatever feels like it sticks. Okay, so do a little movement again. Just shake yourself up if there's a need to change your seat, change your seat. Good. And then come back towards stillness, please. I have a mudra for you that is meant to help to develop intuition or to make you aware of your intuition. So it's the Seashell Mudra. So what it looks like is the left hand comes up and the right hand is going to wrap, the four fingers are going to wrap around the left thumb and come into the palm of your left hand. And the right thumb comes to meet your middle finger. So you're making like a little seashell shape, right? So you start with the left hand up. Yep, left hand. Right hand, four fingers wrap around your thumb. So you're holding your left thumb. There you go. And then you're bringing your knuckles into the palm of your left hand, right? So your right hand is in a thumbs up, holding your left thumb. And then you're just bringing the tip of your thumb to the middle finger. Yeah? And then you can hold that right at the heart. Good. Yeah, so you're making a little seashell shape. You got it. And then let the eyes close again. And start to, as you feel the breath flowing, like you are sitting beneath a waterfall. You can feel the breath as a continuous flow. You can feel as though, again, you are sitting under a waterfall and there is that continuous kind of pressure coming in through the crown and washing over you. You can imagine that as a stream of light if you'd like. You can imagine it as literally water. Intuition is the energy that flows to you with no effort. You're allowing yourself to be immersed as though you are sitting under a waterfall. Any thoughts that come, they just flow with the waterfall right through you. Undoing the filters of the mind that like to categorize our thoughts or place things in one area or another. Bring the inner attention, though you are sitting beneath that waterfall, keep a subtle attention at your third eye, your forehead. You would like to add the internal mantra of Om. We did a lot of that last week. You want to try it if you weren't here, you liked it and want to do it again. Internally begin to hear the sound of Om with every breath, vibrating the space of the third eye. The whole mind becomes an echo chamber. I'm still sitting beneath that waterfall. There's a constant stream of energy. Anything you could possibly need to know is brought right to you. With the mind open and receptive, everything you need to know drops right in. Don't try to catch it, don't try to hold it. Sit beneath the waterfall and watch the energy flow. You're using the mantra Om. Let this be your last repetition before you let that go into silence. You're sitting under that waterfall, bringing one more breath into the third eye. And let go of that image. And for one more breath, connect to the feel of your fingers, right hand wrapped around the left thumb. And then releasing the mudra, let your hands fall to your lap, however they would like to be, palm up or palm down. Sit for a moment with no filters. Anything that you need to know or be is brought to you. You're 100% receptive. And start to feel your breath come a little bit deeper, breathing consciously down into the belly, down into the pelvis. Feel the breath begin to expand into the side rib cage, so every inhale fills the belly and then expands the ribs to the side. The exhale is a softening. And the breath begins to rise larger and higher to fill the belly, the side ribs, and the upper chest. And releasing like the ebb and flow of the ocean, the breath rises through the belly, through the ribs, through the chest, maybe even through your throat, maybe even through the crown, that reverse waterfall. And exhale, release. You need to breathe consciously through the belly, through the ribs, through the chest. High up and as expansive as the breath will go, let it go. Three-part breath, but it's to make you aware of the way the breath flows in your body. Your ability, your innate power to create that breath larger. Power to liberate yourself is tied to how big you think you are, how expansive you think you are. And practice finding that your inner world is infinitely larger than the outer world. And on the next exhale, let that conscious breath go. One more brief meditation for you. Change your seat if you need to. Even when you're changing your seat, don't let your mind start trying to pick up the rest of your day. Just change your seat, come back. And as you find yourself settling again, eyes can close. And I want you to imagine, image-wise, that you have removed your head. At the top of your neck, there is endless sky, no head. You are still everything that you have ever been, but you have no head. no ability to define. It's endless sky. You even feel, instead of that endless sky, that there is a rising fountain in you, that reverse waterfall. Flows up through the neck into infinity. Meets that downward waterfall. They become one and the same. Either image. Replace your head with infinite. Release the weight of the mind into infinity. Feel yourself get softer, that you're not trying to hold on to any of that bigness. Completely receptive. There's no head. Wide open sky. That wide open sky, or that waterfall of fountain energy, that is the same as the intuitive flow. Anything that you could know, need to know, want to know, flows right to you. Breathe yourself back into the upper chest. Breathe yourself back into the side ribs. Breathe yourself back into the low belly, into the pelvis. It's up to you if you want to put your head back on. It's up to you if you want to let yourself stay in this state of receptivity, or if you would like to close some doors and some windows. The power that you have to liberate yourself is tied to how willing you are to open, how willing you are to let go, to go beyond the boundaries, the edges that are already defined, and to see what is beyond. Intuition is knowing that you have everything that will ever be needed will be brought to you. Not how hard you work. It's how much the mind is willing to receive the answers that are true. We practice going beyond what we know so that we can become everything that we already are. Become aware of everything that we already are. Find yourself connecting again to your heartbeat, to your seat. And when you're ready, let the eyes float open. you feel a little spacey, that's not abnormal with that meditation. Maybe do a little movement, a little cat-cow. You've been sitting for a while. One of my favorite things that I've heard someone say, and who knows where it came from originally, and I think lots of people have probably repeated it, but that we have the practice of prayer, which is our asking questions or seeking out into the infinite. And then we have meditation, which is just the practice of listening. So it's not a seeking, where are the answers, where am I going to find them, but it's a sitting and listening, the resting and saying, if I just become still, all of the answers are already there. I don't have to run after them. Everything that I need is already there. I don't have to run after it. And whatever I think is what I need that is not what I need, if I can filter through, let go of my attachment to things, then everything I need simply comes. So meditation is unwinding yourself into nothing so that you realize that you're everything. Practice that. Bring hands to heart center, please. Dropping the chin towards the chest, dropping your attention down into your heart. Meditation is, by its nature, a loving practice, or I think should be a loving practice. You have the power to liberate yourself from anything that isn't love. Thank you, thank you. Sliding the thumbs up to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to unmute you. You can tell me how that went. There we go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
How'd you like
Veronica.
being headless?
Yeah,
I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was good.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot too. It was great. I was a little late, but I loved the whole second half.
Good. Well, it'll be up. I'm putting them up on YouTube, so you can always go to Natural Yoga Online on YouTube, and you'll